Hello, everyone. My name is Oscar Carmona, and I am the owner and operations lead for Birding Texas and Beyond. Thank you for joining me today for our webinar providing an overview of our upcoming Texas Hill Country Tour. If you have any questions on this or any of our pre-scheduled or custom tours, please feel free to contact us. Contact information will be provided at the end of the presentation. We will be covering the following topics today: introductions. We will detail our upcoming Texas Hill Country birding tour with a look at the locations we will visit, along with a sampling of the bird species we may see. We will also look at what is included in our tour packages and what to expect. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us via email. Birding Texas and Beyond officially launched in July of 2025. After several years of leading private tours within Texas and Mexico, I decided it was time to expand our bird guiding services to include all-inclusive tour packages throughout Texas and other U.S. and international destinations. Our mission is to create memorable and educational birding experiences by highlighting the distinctive bird species, habitats, wildlife, and local cultures of the destinations we explore. We offer various tour packages ranging from half-day local excursions to week-long expeditions targeting specific bird species or habitats. The guide for the upcoming tour we are covering today is Troy Hibbets. A little background about Troy. Troy grew up birding on family vacations across the Mountain West. After earning his master's degree in evolutionary biology from the University of Texas at Arlington, Troy began a career as a high school science teacher while filling his weekends and vacation time with birding, wildlife observation, and photography. In addition to birding, he is a leading expert on reptiles and amphibians in the Southwest, having co-authored 3 field guides for the state of Texas. Troy serves as an eBird reviewer for 5 counties in Southwest Texas. He has birded in all of Texas's 254 counties and has many years of birding experience, specifically in South and West Texas, as well as in southeastern Arizona. The tour we will be covering this evening is called Spring in the Hill Country. It is a 6-day, 5-night tour that will run April 8th through the 13th, 2026, and will start and end in San Antonio, Texas. Each tour is limited to a maximum of 8 participants, and there are still spaces available on this tour. The Texas Hill Country is a great place to bird any time of the year. However, spring migration provides opportunities to see a greater variety of birds. April into early May brings the most dynamic birding of the season. Overnight migrants drop into river corridors and brushy edges, producing mornings filled with warblers, orioles, buntings, grosbeaks, and flycatchers. The oak juniper woodlands, limestone canyons, and rivers come alive with returning breeders and peak migration. Because spring cold fronts can still slip through, we may experience the occasional cooler mornings or a brief passing shower. These weather shifts often spark bursts of migration, especially along riparian corridors. April is also prime time for golden-cheeked warblers and black-capped vireos, with males singing boldly. Their territories are active and visible, offering some of the best viewing opportunities of the year. We will now do a brief run through the itinerary of our Spring in the Hill Country tour and showcase some of the destinations we will visit, along with some of the bird species we hope to observe. Day 1. The tour starts and ends in San Antonio International Airport. We will pick everyone up at the airport and drive about an hour and a half to Uvalde. After meeting everyone at the hotel lobby later in the day, we will hold an evening orientation session and welcome dinner to give participants an overview of what to expect for the next several days. Nights 1 through 5 will be spent in Uvalde, which will be our base for the entirety of the tour. On day 2, we will bird several locations near Uvalde, including Cook Slough Nature Park, Uvalde National Fish Hatchery, and then in the late afternoon, we will drive north to Concan to witness the evening flight of millions of Mexican free-tailed bats emerging from Frio Bat Cave. Uvalde sits at the meeting point of the Edwards Plateau north of Uvalde, the South Texas plains, brush country south of Uvalde, and the Trans-Pecos Transition Zone, which is located west of Uvalde. Birders can get an edge effect of species from all three regions, which is a rare combination in one county. The key birding habitats within Uvalde itself include riparian corridors surrounding the Nueces, Frio, and Sabinal rivers, with shaded riverbanks, cottonwoods, willows, and lush understory. These river corridors are the heartbeat of Uvalde birding, cool, green, and full of movement. Just beyond the city, the landscape opens into wetlands and ponds, such as the ones at Cook Slough and the Uvalde National Fish Hatchery. Here, the birding shifts to wide-angle scanning. These wetlands act as magnets, pulling in birds that need water in an otherwise dry region. Between these pockets of green and blue, Uvalde is stitched together by brushy edges, mesquite scrub, and agricultural roadsides. Together, these habitats create a compact, highly productive birding landscape, one where a short drive can take you from river shade to open water to a thorn scrub. It is this tight mosaic that makes Uvalde such a rewarding place to bird. We will now take a look at some of the species we may encounter on day 2 in the areas around Uvalde. Audubon's orioles are low-density residents in the region. Unlike other orioles, the male and female look exactly alike with its yellow body, green back, and black head. They are usually difficult to see as they tend to stay in dense underbrush, but can often be located first by its song, which consists of slow and varied whistles sounding almost like a person learning to whistle. Although more often associated with the Rio Grande Valley, green jays can be found in the thorn scrub and riparian areas in the Uvalde area. They are brightly colored and loud and can be seen with ease at some of these locations where feeders may be set up. They can also mimic other bird calls and have been known to use tools to forage for food. Ash-throated flycatchers can be found in some of the more arid habitat in the area. They are cavity nesters and often find suitable nesting spots in fence posts and pipes. Like most other desert species, ash-throated flycatchers don't need to drink water. Instead, they get it all from the insects that they do eat. Coveys of scale quail can be encountered scurrying through the arid habitats of the area. They are often referred to as cotton top because of their white crest, or blue quail because of its bluish-gray breast and back. They are one of 3 quail species found in this region, the others being the more widespread northern bobwhite and the very rare and localized Montezuma quail. The verdin is a common sight and sound in the arroyos and scrub in the region. They are active birds that can be seen searching foliage extensively for insects and spiders. Verdins build nests which are used for both breeding and roosting. It is the only bird in the genus Auriparus, although it resembles members of the chickadee family superficially. It is in a different family altogether. It is the only representative of the oral family Remisidae in all of North America. The cactus wren symbolizes the deserts of the American Southwest and is right at home in the cactus and chaparral areas of the region. Their presence in the area is often announced by spotting one of their nests, which is a football-shaped clump of sticks and vegetation built into a clump of cactus. Their calls are also a clue, sounding like an old car trying to start. They share their habitat in the area with another wren species, the Bewick's wren. The greater roadrunner is often found along roadsides where they are hunting for their preferred prey, which are snakes, lizards, and sometimes mice. They may run across the road in front of the van as we are headed from one birding spot to another. Greater roadrunners eat poisonous prey, including venomous lizards and scorpions, with no ill effect. Once limited to nesting solely in caves, the cave swallow has expanded its range over the past several decades by nesting under bridges and culverts. In this region, they share caves with Mexican free-tailed bats and use the bat guano to build nests that they use to attach onto walls and ledges. We may also encounter cliff swallows in the area which are very similar in appearance, but cliff swallows have a bright rump, bright collar, and a bright forehead. On day 3, we visit Kickapoo Cavern State Park and Fort Clark Springs, which are points C and D on the map and are located west and northwest of Uvalde. On day 4, we explore Lost Maple State Natural Area, which is point E on the map and is located north of Uvalde. On day 3, we drive northwest out of the South Texas brush country and into the Edwards Plateau to visit Kickapoo Cavern State Park. The park has one of the state's easternmost stands of pinyon pines and is also one of the best places to see both the golden cheek warbler and the black-capped vireo. We will then spend the afternoon at Fort Clark Springs, which is an old frontier fort located in Brackettville, surrounded by lush riparian areas of oaks and pecan trees along Lost Morris Creek. On day 4, we drive north to Lost Maple State Natural Area to bird the park's rugged canyons and along the Sabinal River. This is one of the few places where the ranges of Carolina and canyon wrens overlap, providing a unique experience to hear them sing simultaneously. We then spend the afternoon birding some additional hotspots in the area as we work our way back to the Uvalde area. Now we will look at some of the birds we may encounter on days 3 and 4 of the tour. If any bird should be considered the state bird of Texas, it should be the golden-cheeked warbler. This species breeds exclusively in Texas in the juniper oak woodlands of the hill country and winters in Central America. Golden-cheeked warblers first became known to science in 1860 from specimens collected on its wintering range in Guatemala. The nesting grounds in Texas were not discovered for another 4 years, so around 1864. This species is most closely related to black-throated green, hermit, and Townsend's warblers. The black-capped vireo is another sought-after hill country bird. Although their breeding range includes northern Mexico, Oklahoma, and a small part of Kansas, Texas holds the largest breeding population. These birds can be found in semi-open oak scrub areas along with Texas persimmon, which is their preferred nesting shrub. The black-capped vireo is the only vireo that shows sexual dimorphism, where the male and female look different. The woodhouse's scrub jay can be found in the pinyon pine and juniper woodlands of the hill country, where they travel in small family groups, their raspy scold and weep calls often announcing their presence in the area. This and the California scrub jay were once considered the same species when it was just called the scrub jay. The stunning varied bunting has a very limited range, almost staying close to the U.S.-Mexico border, where it nests in dry arroyos, desert thorn forest, and scrubby woodlands. The adult males sport colors including plum, crimson, cherry red, and lavender violet. The varied bunting songs includes a much more variable assortment of notes with less repetition than indigo or lazuli buntings. Gray vireos are very localized breeders in the Texas hill country. This species is a very drab, plain gray bird with a thin white eye-ring, but their habitat preferences makes them a target bird due to the difficulty it is to find them, whether searching for them in hot deserts or remote juniper oak woodlands. They are best found by listening for their song, which is a series of 2- and 3-note phrases. The zone-tailed hawk can often be found flying with a group of turkey vultures or by itself, mimicking a vulture by flying with their wings slightly raised and occasionally rocking back and forth as the vultures do to surprise any unsuspecting prey below. They can be found at all times of the day and may show up anywhere in the region. Canyon towhees are ground-dwelling birds that blend in well to their habitat. They are desert birds and they pay attention to water supplies. They can nest twice a year, timing their attempts to coincide with winter and summer range, which produce a flush of plant material and insects. They are closely related to the California towhee and were once considered the same species, the brown towhee. On day 5, we drive west to the border town of Del Rio, which is point E on the map. The area offers a variety of habitats, including mesquite woodlands, South Texas brush country, river cane thickets, and the Rio Grande River riverfront. As we drive west, we'll notice birds shifting subtly as the terrain changes from limestone canyons to desert scrub to wide open water. We continue to bird upriver to Lake Amistad, Point G on the map, and visit a few other birding hotspots in the Brackettville area before returning to Uvalde. On day 6, the tour concludes, and we drive back to San Antonio for departures while making a few quick birding stops along the way. We will now look at some of the species we may encounter on day 5. Murrelet seed eaters are restricted to areas of cane and Phragmites along the Rio Grande River near Del Rio. They are small, secretive birds that feed primarily on seeds and do so by clinging onto grass stems to pluck those seeds. They range from the upper Rio Grande Valley near Falcon Dam upriver to Del Rio area and are one of the more sought-after birds in the region due to their limited range in the United States. Couch's kingbirds frequent marginal wooded habitats in the region. They have expanded their range northward in recent years and can now be found as far north as the Del Rio area. They share their range with the similar western and tropical kingbirds and can be separated by their calls, tail patterns, and sometimes habitat preferences. Yellow-breasted chats can be found in the shrubby habitats of the area where they give off their improvisational song consisting of whistles, chuckles, gurgles, and other sounds, along with a short display flight. For many years, this bird was lumped in with the warblers, despite being totally different. Hooded orioles are summer residents from the lowlands along the Rio Grande to the scrublands of the hill country. These birds prefer to nest in palm trees where available. The only oriole that is somewhat similar in plumage is the Altamira oriole, which is restricted to the lower Rio Grande Valley. Chihuahuan ravens can be found in the lowlands of the area where they overlap with the larger common raven. Chihuahuan ravens used to be known as a white-necked raven, and the white-neck feathers can often be seen when the bird is facing away and the wind speed is just right. Chihuahuan ravens have declined in numbers in recent years, and it appears that common ravens are occupying some of their former territories. Mexican ducks have a limited range in the U.S. and are most often found in the arid highlands of northern and central Mexico. In Texas, they can be found along the upper Rio Grande River and in seasonal marshes in the Trans-Pecos region. They are nondescript and are often passed off as female mallards, mottled ducks, or females of other duck species. The ring kingfisher is the largest of the kingfishers found in the U.S. and can be found either perched quietly on a tree above the river or loudly making its presence known as it flies by. It is almost the size of a crow, and its first nest in the U.S. was documented as recently as 1970. They have increased their range upriver into the Del Rio area, as well as some areas of the southwestern hill country. That concludes the overview of the tour. We will now go over what the tour packages include and what to expect. What's included in our tour packages? Expert guide services, entrance fees to all parks and preserves per the itinerary, local ground transportation, accommodations, lodging, small group size with a maximum of 8 participants, all meals from dinner on day 1 to breakfast on the last day of the tour, and daily water and snacks while we're out in the field. We do provide you with pre-tour information package, which provides trip planning resources to better prepare you for the tour. What to expect? 125 plus species potential on this tour, moderate daily walks of 1 to 3 miles, walking on uneven or soggy terrain, or in the rain is entirely possible in the spring. We do spend 7 to 10 hours field time each day. We will have moderate drives to the hotspot locations, and we do basically start early in the morning around 6:30 to 7, have some morning birding, have a lunch break, resume birding until about 5 p.m., followed by dinner at a local restaurant. I do want to take a moment to share a little bit about our custom tours. Our custom tours are designed for travelers who want a completely personalized birding experience instead of fitting into a preset itinerary. We build a trip around you, your target species, your preferred pace, and the kind of landscapes you enjoy exploring. You'll be paired with one of our expert local guides who knows the region, its birds, its habitats, and the seasonal rhythms that shape what we see in the field. We offer flexible dates and destinations across Texas and beyond, and we handle all the logistics so you can simply enjoy that experience and the birds. That includes route planning, timing, and all the little field details that make a day run smoothly. Our goal is to create a relaxed, memorable experience that feels personal, meaningful, and truly connected to the places we explore. Whether you're celebrating a milestone trip, chasing a life bird, or just wanting a private, unhurried adventure, our custom tours give you a tailored way to explore with an expert by your side. Thank you again for joining us today for your interest in birding Texas and beyond. Please feel free to reach out with any questions you may have. And make sure you visit our website to learn more about our upcoming tours and follow us on social media to stay informed on our trip reports and special announcements. Here is a link to our website where you can view a complete calendar of available tours and departures, and our email and phone number in case you do want to reach out to us for further questions or information. Have a great rest of the day, and thank you for joining us, and we look forward to you joining us on your next birding adventure.